Too many animals, whose lives began in innocence and trust, face an uncertain future. Every year, hundreds of animals are abandoned or relinquished in the Truckee area. The Humane Society of Truckee Tahoe, made up of compassionate people who are dedicated to looking out for those who can't look out for themselves, cares for these animals and finds them loving homes.
Well, the Humane Society is really important to this community because it provides service for both animals and people. Let's say an animal was homeless, it would have a place to go and they could help them. And let's say I lost my pet, I would have a place to go and I know where to find my pet. I feel really, really strongly that the community should support the Humane Society because next to shelter for ourselves and food for ourselves, I think our animals are our most important thing in our lives.
The Humane Society of Truckee Tahoe started in about 1994 by a group of really committed, dedicated volunteers. There were just a few of them in response to the need for adoption services, basically. All of our funding for the Humane Society is raised from private individuals and businesses. Over the years we've grown, although now we are still largely volunteer organization. We do have a small staff and a small office space. The only thing we don't have is a shelter that's big enough for our needs.
If there's a dog or a cat or an animal in our town that needs to be saved or rescued, we're here to do it. The current kennel facility belongs to the town of Truckee, but they graciously allow us to keep most of our animals inside of it. It's about 1,000 square feet. It was built as a temporary facility that was supposed to last 5 to 7 years, about 11 years ago. It was designed to hold about 8 dogs and about 20 cats. We at any given time can have up to 30 dogs and 80 cats. We don't have any place to put them. We are committed to being a no-kill organization, and we believe that in saving every single animal that comes to us under all circumstances, and we need a new shelter to make that happen.
The Humane Society of Truckee Tahoe has the support of prominent members of this tight-knit Truckee community and beyond, because they've earned it.
Over the years, the Humane Society has been one of those organizations that just doesn't say no to the needs of the animal community. My wife Martha and I have both been involved in supporting the Humane Society over the years, as well as our law firm here. And when I heard about the capital campaign, I was immediately drawn to it in terms of supporting it in any way that I could.
The Humane Society of Truckee Tahoe is important to the community of North Lake Tahoe because it provides vital services to the area. They have the only spay-neuter program in the community, providing these services for hundreds of residents from Tahoe City, Truckee, Kings Beach, who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford them. I support the Humane Society because it's good for the community.
Well, there are many worthy nonprofits in our area, and Jim and I support a lot of them. But what I have to say is there's only one nonprofit who deals as effectively and so effectively with our pets and our animals, and that's the Truckee Tahoe Humane Society. And they're in desperate need, have been for years. They've been providing a service here that is beyond belief for 15, 20 years. And it's really time for them to have a facility where they can do right by all those animals that they've taken care of for us for so many years.
The plan is to build a new animal shelter on land donated by the town of Truckee, which will be shared by the Humane Society and Truckee Animal Services.
The relationship between the town of Truckee and the Humane Society goes back well over 10 years. When we really began working together to ensure that animals that we picked up that were at large or not being cared for had a place to be maintained and then trained and adopted out. What that has allowed us to do is really ensure that no animal within the town of Truckee would be euthanized that was adoptable. We've had a great working relationship both with their board and their staff, and that really has allowed us to grow from sharing space together and kind of bumping into each other and working closely together to really seriously considering building a major animal shelter as a joint venture.
We realized that it made the most sense to not duplicate services and rather to build a shelter that housed public and private under one roof, where we could be more efficient, more effective, save more lives, and work together.
It will be ultimately cheaper for both the taxpayers of Truckee and the donors to the Humane Society. It'll be a bigger bang for the buck for our community.
The community will also benefit from a new shelter by knowing that all its homeless animals will be properly cared for. And the animals will benefit because there will be room for them to live a good life while waiting for their forever homes. Room for all of them.
And as we continue to grow, that will really jeopardize our current kind of mutual no-kill ability with animals. Every animal that's adoptable is adopted, and at some point in the not too distant future, the ability to do that is going to be jeopardized without a new shelter.
This is not something to be proud of, but we're creating something that we can be very proud of.
It's important for the community to step up to the plate on this particular campaign because, number one, it has been so many years that the Humane Society has been giving back through its volunteer efforts and enriching all of our lives with the adoption program and other programs. And we need to have a facility that honors that part of our society.
So we're asking now that you help the Humane Society of Truckee Tahoe get this shelter built. We have the location, we have the town support, we have the people, we have the plan. We really need to come together to raise the money to help us get this shelter built. It'll be very, very important, and it's something that we can attain now, and it'll be a great goal to be proud of. So I'm asking you, please help us.
Trust on which you